Sounds weird.
Hey, I'm recording this. This is the Power Hour on Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? I think so. Wednesday, the 24th of June, and it's a wonderful, hot day in Las Vegas. Glad you guys are joining us. I know some of you might be watching this recording today. We're going to do something that I have never done before, but I think could really be something special for all of us. I'm hoping a lot of people join us. Hey, Susan Friedman, I'm glad you're with us. Are you going to be in and out today with us, Susan Friedman?
I'm going to have it on, but I have to move around.
Okay,
I'll have the audio on.
as long as you jump in, because I want to get your input on what we're going to do today.
Okay.
Glad Jane is here. Okay, so Kedzie, do you want to tell us anything about the broadcast yesterday? Must not want to.
I had 4 screens I had to get rid of. Sorry. Fighting the bugs. Well, I love being on this radio. Well, I've never done another type of radio show, so I'm sure I'd love just about any type. Getting to talk about what we love to talk about is fun, and I guess because I can talk fast, I can pack a lot into a short time. When you take a half an hour, it's really more like 20 minutes or maybe less, because they have commercials, they have this and that. So the time that you actually have to speak is a lot less than a half an hour. So you really have to get your point across. But Carol Blonder, who's had this, it's her business, her interview business called Networking Arizona. And she, for a fee, interviews you. You basically give her parameters. I've been on her show 4 times since March. So she pretty much doesn't need any notes. She already knows, what's going on with Gia. And it's a lot of fun because I love being around her. I love meeting new people because there's always new people to meet who are also going to be on in that. She does it for an hour every day, 5 days a week. And there's either 4 people, 3 people, or 2 people, usually half hour, or sometimes there's one that takes a whole hour, but usually there's 2 or 3. You get to meet people. And so it's fun. So we'll see. I always give away a gallon of water to anybody who calls in. And then the grand prize that one person gets a pop-up, or I usually give them a choice of a cell guard or a pop-up, and with a gallon of water. And it takes 24 hours or more for her to gather all the names that call in, because they call into the radio station phone line. So I never know.
Kedzie, you got muted when I muted everybody. You have to unmute yourself, I guess.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
That worked.
I thought maybe I was so bad that you muted me out.
A little background noise, and I just wanted to be really quick so you wouldn't know.
Okay, you just missed a horse whinnying there when you muted me. Anyway, so that pretty much I was done with that. The first time I did it this year, I had 6 callers and 2 people enrolled. The next time I had a short little 15-minute, which is more like 8 minutes on the radio, talking. I had 2 people call in and 1 person enrolled. And the third time it was kind of a strikeout, so you never know. Well, we'll see. Usually I can get a lot done in the half-hour spot. That's pretty much it.
Great. Well, look forward to seeing your results. So we have to put one more pin in the map for you, right?
Oh, yes, that would be Phoenix.
Phoenix? Anybody else have any more pins in the map that I need to add?
I have a question for Kedzie.
Okay.
Kedzie, I'm curious. When the people call in on the radio and you say you give away a gallon of water, what if that person's outside of your driving range? What do? Mail it to them, order the boxed water, which we know we're in shortage of right now, or have someone locally maybe deliver? Like, what is it you do there, my love?
That's a great question, because I literally on the radio said, I don't care where you live in Arizona, I will drive it there. I said, we're all, we've all been locked down. It'd be nice to go on a drive. But the first time, because we were kind of locked down, and I did have some boxed water. I did send some water to one person who lived, I think it was a 3-hour each way drive. And it cost me about $25 total. So I don't really like to do that. I'd rather drive.
Well, this is true, but thank goodness for tax write-offs. Bless you. Thank you for that.
Okay.
So I don't know that all of you know the story, but I would be the last person you would want on a radio show. The last. I don't like doing it. I'm not the person like is the product expert able to talk like Kedsy's, you know, she's a practitioner and able to talk about it. So I would be the last. You want to talk about the business? I'm all over that. So Karen Knott probably 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I don't know, maybe 11, maybe 10, 9 years ago, lives in Southern California. And so she had this opportunity to be on a radio show, but it didn't start. I don't think it started until like almost midnight. And so we had to go to the radio station to do this at midnight. And it was all about Gia, the radio show. And we were the guests. And so it was me and Karen and this gal who run the show. We went to the studio, but there was one issue that was a bit of a problem. It was an Armenian radio station. Nobody spoke English except for the person, the disc jockey or the radio host. She spoke English. All the callers who called in spoke Armenian, and everything we talked about, she had to translate to the audience. Oh, I have goosebumps all over my body right now thinking about how hard that was for me. I couldn't believe it. And wouldn't you know it, we had to get a heckler calling in, right? Somebody who was totally against the EMF stuff. Oh my God, I wish Karen was here. She'd crack up, man, because I
You're
was.
proof of that.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said something?
I think Sue said something about proof, something about there's proof of that. I'm not sure what she said exactly.
Oh, you're.
I just wanted to say one thing. People don't call, the way we have it set up is they call in during the show, but not to me. I don't hear them calling in. They call in to the person, you know, the screener, call screener, whatever you want to call it. That's different than a call-in show.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah, so we talked back and forth about stuff, and then they were calling in, and then they would put them through, and you would hear them talk in Armenian, and then she would have to translate to us, and I'd have to say my thing and translate back. And I'm sweating right now, just reliving this. Kedzie, you got a lot of courage. Let me say one thing I want to say about Kedzie today. I saw a couple posts you were doing, and I saw your picture of you with the water at the station, Operation Hydration. Kedzie's like the, I don't know, the poster child to me of having Gia in you. I don't know if you know what I mean. I mean, you see Kedzie, what she does every day. It's inside of her. She can't even get away from it if she tried to, because it's just part of who she is. Susan Friedman just gave you a thumbs up, Kedzie. And really, that's, I don't know how that happens to some people, you know, just it's inside of you. And probably you all have passions, like pickleball is inside of me, Gia is inside of me. And you find those things you love to do. And when you can find something you love to do that can help you create an income for your life, there's nothing better. There's just nothing better. If I could make with pickleball.
Can I just say, I really appreciate what you just said, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples. One from today. So I'm up here with my horse, and there's a distance that I have to travel along the shoulder of a road. It can be uncomfortable at times, you know, with big, you know, big vehicles and tractors and whatever. And other times there's, you know, it's intermittent, but there's not a lot of space. So I'm walking along. Suddenly I see a woman. You don't see people just walk. There's no real place to walk. And I'm thinking, okay, did this person just drop, like, you know, parachute down? And turns out she lives almost directly across the way, up on a high hill, and came, you know, hasn't lived here a long time. So we literally were on the shoulder of the road. I realized ants were crawling up her leg. I was wondering why she was dancing around it. You know, all this stuff, right? I already know that I will be doing Operation Hydration with her. That's what John stuff. I mean, it's never going to be a missed opportunity ever again, kind of a thing. And then yesterday, what happened was I have picture of me giving water to Carol Blonder, the radio host. And I texted her on the way out because the receptionist was listening to the program. Says, what's this water? And she's seen me there a bunch of times this year. What is it? I said, well, blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, why don't I text Carol and tell her to give you a glass of the gallon that I just gave her, and you can try it. Well, then I get a text back from Carol, and she says, I just gave her the whole gallon. So I know I'll be calling this gal named Lisa, who's the receptionist. So I think that's kind of partially what you're talking about, John, right?
I think what I'm talking about is that what I feel about you is you will do whatever it takes. You will, like you just said in that radio show, I'll drive anywhere in Arizona. It sounded like you said that. I'll drive anywhere.
Yep.
And
yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a huge commitment to do that. And last night, I was just relaxing, sitting down and kind of getting used to, when I get when night's over, work's over, and you're sitting down relaxing, and the phone rang, and it was a consultant from Atlanta. And so I had to make the choice. I could have let it go to voicemail and just said, okay, I'll call tomorrow, or I could answer it. And I had to have that conversation with me. Got up and answered the phone, right? It's that kind of choice that when you have it, when it's in you, and there are times when it's in you more than others, for sure. And what I'm hoping is that all of us being together, that in you thing is starting to really start to get in you, knowing what we can accomplish. And it really leads into what I want to do today. I've never done this before with a group of people, and I don't even know how it's going to work. But over this last three plus months, we've been together talking about the business, where we're going, vision, what it's going to look like. And most of those comments have come from me, what I see for the future. And today I want to change it up a little bit, because I'll just tell you, for me, vision has been everything in my whole life for me. I see things for the future that drive me towards them. I see them ahead of time. Does anybody else ever do that? You ever see that vision about what you want to create or accomplish or go towards? Can you remember a time, anybody, that it was so strong? I mean, a lot of times for us, the vision that most of us have at some point is when you fall in love with a partner, but you're not quite there yet, but you want to be there, and you can see the vision, and it's like consuming. Sue Johnson kind of had this situation happen over the last couple of weeks. It wasn't with a person, but it was with a vision of moving and getting a place to live in a certain area. And she was consumed by it. And it was the vision that kept her going and kept her positive about it, even though there was bumps along the way. And those are the kind of things I'm talking about. And Kedzie, that's what I think Kedzie has. She just has a vision for the future. At least that's what I think. And when she sees the vision and it's in you, you just go. And so a lot of times someone will create a vision for us, like maybe Gia will create a vision for us that we get consumed with. It's their vision, but it's big enough for us to fit in, and we kind of, thanks, Karen, how are you? Glad you can make it. So we're just talking about something we're going to do today, and I'm glad you're here because I want you to be a part of this. So Linda and Alfred, they created a vision for the future when Gia was launched, and I just happened to be there on the first day when they shared the vision. I can remember where I was sitting, what we were doing. There was a small group of us, and they were sharing growth, inspiration, and abundance, and inspired wellness with us, and what it was going to mean for the world. And so I got totally into the concept of their vision. And of course, all these years have followed that vision. And now the vision has changed a little bit, at least the communication of it. But that vision was so strong, I still find myself saying growth, inspiration, and abundance, inspired wellness, because it covers everything for me. It's like shirts, I've got shirts with it. I've got, tattoos with it on my body. Not really, but you get my point. So here's what I wanted to do today. I want to work with all of you, whoever's here today, and then we can continue this until we get it done on another day. Maybe we can invite other people. I want to create a united vision that incorporates us and what we're doing. Because what we're doing has never been done at Gia before, where people are getting together, focusing on how to grow the team, how to grow Gia. We're from all different groups. And we're not really, I almost said misfits. We're not misfits, but we kind of are in Gia, because Gia is such a product-centric company. People just love the products, but the business hasn't always been as important. And we've brought the business, in my opinion, pretty close to as important as the products. So I was thinking today, I was actually sitting down yesterday, okay, I've got to recreate my vision. Where am I going? What am I going to be doing? What is it going to look like? And I thought, why should I do it alone? Why don't we try to work on it together? The vision, the mission, the purpose, what do we want to accomplish? And here's why I think it's important. So we're doing Operation Hydration. I can see thousands of people doing Operation Hydration experience. I really can. I mean, it's so simple, so fun. And I don't know, Sandy's on with us. Sandy yesterday just knocked me out, man. If you weren't here yesterday, when Sandy described that she has 2 Operation Hydrations going on, it looks like one person is going to purchase the water system because of that. I mean, that just knocked me out. I mean, it's just so perfect. It's such a perfect scenario to happen to show you that, hey, anybody can do this, man. Hang out with us, learn a few skills, and go do it. So if we continue on, there's about 15 or 20 of us that hang out here from time to time. We could increase the numbers, and that's really what it's going to take to grow this team. So what I want is when you're out doing Operation Hydration, I'd like you to go do it with that mission and purpose in mind, that vision that we have together, so that you can actually tell the person why we're doing this. Would that be helpful? To be able to explain as a group, you're with a group of people, and here's why we're doing what we're doing. And it doesn't have to be long. It just has to be something like we're talking about with Kedzie, in us, together. And what that means is that when new people join our group, that they will come in and they'll be part of our vision, just like I'm part of Alfred and Linda's vision as you are. So this group of people who now become knowledgeable that, hey, there's an opportunity here, you can also go help us share the good news with other people. They come in and they adopt our vision. They become part of our vision. And because of what we're doing today, those people will show up. So anyway, how do you feel about doing this? It's not going to be easy, I'm sure, but I think we can do it. Do you think that would be helpful? Karen, what do you think? I'm looking right at you.
Sorry, I missed the first 15 minutes, so I'm not sure where you went, but
We're talking about you, actually.
okay, well, I can tell you that Linda actually called this to my attention. I don't know if it was 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I don't remember. I remember exactly. I was pulled over at the side of the road listening to her, and it really comes down to drilling down to your why. And I think that's, for me, that's what it was. And she kept saying, yeah, I know this, but what about, and I know you guys have all heard this story, but my why is alternative healthcare. But I think every one of us has something that we're that passionate about, or we're pretty sure that's our why. That's what it is for me. And so I just kind of reframed my opening statement, or, my why I'm doing this. Whereas before I used to say, I want to help people, and, came from a background of needing to find protection for electromagnetic radiation. But now I found that every single time I share with people that the income I earn from GIA allows me to fund somebody's alternative healthcare, if I so desire, even if that doesn't interest that person, they'll be like, wow, that's really cool, because they understand that it's fulfilling my why. And so and it's become easier and easier to share that with people, even if it might be our first really lengthy conversation we have, where we're just getting to know each other. I now have shifted it to where almost every single time I incorporate what the income from GIA allows me to do, and how it allows me to do what I'm most passionate about.
So here's the question for you. And so what I'm hearing is this is your personal vision that you are sharing with other people. And it's likely when you share your vision with people, you'll find others who resonate with that idea and may want to join that vision with you. But here's the question. Does that vision that now you're crystal clear about, does it help you get up in the morning and do what you have to do with GIA? Do you feel it?
Well, absolutely. Because it just, even for myself, it's not like that was a new desire, but I had to get clear about it. And now that I have total clarity about it, and like I said, realizing that everybody else might have a different passion, but whatever that passion is for you, that is what fuels you. And And so it's much easier to vocalize it to somebody that you're just sharing with, because they're going to resonate that you're fulfilling your passion, even if they have no interest in that.
So let me ask you another question. How do you feel that being a part of this group can help you achieve your vision?
Well, you guys have all probably heard me say that because you all have my back. And so if any one of us is struggling, we can reach out to the other one and go, I don't know, I'm not feeling it today. Or, I've got this person and I'm frustrated because I've given them 50 gallons of water, whatever it is. I think the community of all of us having the same desire, whatever, that passion is, but we all have the same desire to get there. And this is the vehicle we're going to use.
Okay. So this is really great the way this came out, because what we have then is we have a group vision. What I'm really after. I'm trying to create a group vision that we can all be a part of, all buy into, which you can imagine can be hard. But the other part of it is that this group helps you achieve whatever your personal vision is. And Karen, this is a perfect example. She could certainly go off by herself and she could do what she has to do. But if she can connect to a group of people who are working together and their vision supports hers, it's unstoppable. Unstoppable. You cannot stop it, and it'll grow and it'll flourish instead of being by herself. So that's what I'm kind of looking for, that we have this vision as a group that we create, which is not going to be simple, but it will do it, that we all believe in. And then you have your own vision. If you don't have it, then we can work on that too. That we'll work on the individual vision. But if we can start with this group vision, I think that would be really powerful. I love the way you said, you all have my back. And we will all have each other's back. And then you'll explain this to other people and they'll join us, we'll have their back. So they can be a part of where we're going and we're a part of where Gia is going. Anybody have a thought? Does this make sense? Does it get exciting at all?
Can I give an example of someone having my back in this group?
Okay.
Is Elaine Krause on today?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
We
no.
had a deal.
I don't think she is.
What?
I don't think she is, but she's recording.
Oh, well, I'll tell her separately anyway. We had a deal that I was going to, I kept thinking about her. I had to give some vaccinations to Little B, my horse. And I used to give needles a long time ago. I had no problem doing it. And somewhere along the way, probably 10 years ago, I don't know, something happened and I just was in fright about it and I just couldn't get myself to do it. And today I made sure I made a breakthrough and I gave 2 needles today. And I was thinking of Elaine because we had a deal that I was going to push through it. So there's a perfect example of that could be anything, talking to people, making phone calls, doing a presentation, going on the radio, whatever it is, you know, just give it a different name. But whatever we're afraid to do or feel like we are too tired to do or pushing it off to tomorrow, having her in my head, being accountable to my promise that I was going to promise it to myself, but I also had a person who had my back, that you get what I mean. I don't have to repeat it. So I did it. Yay.
Okay, good. So let me ask you this question then. I think the way when I'm doing it, when I'm thinking about creating a new vision, what I think about is what it looks like a period of time in the future. So if I do what I know I'm going to do, what will it look like? And maybe we could start there and take a look at forward. So this group that we have, we call it the Power Hour. We might even name the group eventually. You know, it could have its own name. And then if we continue to do what we're doing, we start with us 15 people. Today we have 12. And there's probably 15 that are kind of tuned in really good. And there's probably 5 more that are out there and about. But if we do what we're talking about doing, let's say we create this vision, we use Operation Hydration as the door opener to take Gia out to the world, to expose Gia to people. And it really works. 50% of the people join us and they become customers or they become consultants, and maybe they even join this group to help share. Where do you see us 5 years from now? Where do you see, how would you describe what our situation, our life, our group, our company? How would you describe what it might be like 5 years from now? What do you think about that?
Are you
John,
asking
I'm
me?
in and out of signal, so can I just jump in and I'll throw out two words, and that's independence, freedom, and a third one, flexibility.
Okay. Independent, freedom, flexibility. So I think you need to tell us more why you can still get us. What does that mean? Describe it. I need to see a picture.
I'll say a quick one. Can I say a quick one?
Yeah.
Okay. My vision is that everyone is at the rank that they were striving to be, and maybe even the next one that they never realized they could do, which means they've obviously embraced leadership. They've embraced a lot of people. They've embraced new abilities that maybe they didn't have, or maybe they had to tune up. But I think, the idea of where you are in terms of your earnings brings you all that freedom, et cetera, et cetera. But the idea that everybody is at either the rank they wanted to be or higher.
Okay, good. So I'm just going to jot some of these things down, and I think it's going to help bring us where we want to go. So anybody else? Karen, what do you think? 5 years from now, if we do what we say we're going to do, how would you describe, if you could see the picture in your mind?
I just see hundreds and hundreds of us together, all, like I said, our visions are the same and yet they're different, and so I just see them all celebrating each other because of all that we've accomplished, and keeping in mind at the root of that is all the people that may not be part of building a business, but whose lives are better physically
100%.
because of how we got to where we wanted to be.
Yeah, and I think this is important. We're talking about a group of us who are getting together to grow a team. We're on purpose. And what will happen is that thousands and thousands of customers will join GIA, and we'll have all the benefits that we talk about. And then some people will join us, and they'll just be part of the team, and they'll enjoy of course the products, but they'll enjoy maybe sponsoring a couple of people. And then the leaders, who we all have a chance to be, they'll have whatever they want to have. So you're right, Karen, it incorporates all of it. So that's what a vision should look like. It's not just, hey, we've gotten to where we want to go, which is that's part of it. So looking at the whole company in a way would be good. So hundreds and hundreds of people celebrating that they have what, Karen?
Well, that we're accomplishing our vision. We're able to do what drives us, but we got there by helping a lot of people that maybe don't have a big vision of working from home or, having another stream of income, but their health improved.
Well, this is a good example because of what you told us your vision is. I mean, your vision is promoting alternative health, and that means a lot of people being turned on to a way to stay healthy. And what you're saying is you and probably a lot of people that you've recruited and they're part of your team, customers, celebrating also because they've been connected. So you're celebrating your reaching the goals that you've set for yourself, in a sense. And all of us will have our own goals. Okay. Who else? Susan Kibbe.
Yeah, hi. I love the word celebration. That really resonates for me. And it's different for everybody, how that looks. But what I'm seeing, what's exciting for me about this call, which it's a little hard to confess to, but I don't have a consuming vision, mission, purpose. I can't stop talking about GIA, but not in the same way as some of the more business-oriented people do. But I just pretty much always, it comes up almost all the time. And so I love, John, that you're presenting this opportunity to have a group vision, because it makes me feel like, oh, okay, maybe I can't be the only one, or maybe I am on this call, maybe not, but in the world of GIA, who doesn't have a consuming vision and who feels a little bit deficient about that, or there's a deficit going on there that, well, what's that about? And so that we're coming up together with a group vision means that people who maybe don't have that consuming vision can feel like, oh, I can get on board with the group vision. This works for me. So I'm feeling really a sense of joy and relief and all kinds of stuff. So thank you.
You know, it's funny. I've known you a long time, and you probably are one of the most passionate people about GIA. And you're saying you don't have a vision for it, but you have a passion that's unstoppable for it. And maybe you may not have your own specific vision, but you're probably tied into the company vision, growth, inspiration, and abundance. The whole, you know, all those things are part of the vision that you're into. And you really love what the products do for people, right? You do have a passion. So I think a group vision will be helpful for all of us, actually. Susan Friedman?
Yeah, I was, let me just finish just really quickly. That's true what you just said. And Mike, I was talking about a consuming personal vision, which I have felt like, where's that? But also for years, even before GIA was ever on the scene, I've been seen as a resource. People say, oh, call Susan about that. She'll know. Whatever the heck it is, people would call me as a resource. And usually that feels really good. And sometimes, oh God, do I really want to be a resource for everything, like funerals and you name it, they'd be calling me about it, just knowing that I would know. So this fits really well for that thing as well in my life. It's a thing. Okay, I'm done.
I'm going to give everybody your phone number just in case we need to call.
It's a connector.
There you go. Connect.
Yeah.
That's it. Good one. Okay, Susan Friedman, what are you thinking?
So I want to make a comment, Susan, to Susan Kibbe. It's that you may not identify it as a vision, but I think anybody would look and say your mission is to share GIA with anyone who will listen and who you can connect about. Whether you do it for business, whether they have a business, whether you make money, it doesn't seem to matter. But your mission has always been to share as much as you can about the information, about the possibilities and the products of GIA. And I don't hear it internalized as something as a mission, but it certainly is a passion that is expressed all over. Anybody would acknowledge that. So there for that. But the word that actually for me comes up is the issue of collaboration, or the idea of collaboration, and that we are a collaborative group in collaborating to share what's possible and to support people in actualizing their own personal mission. I mean, that certainly is what my passion is supporting people in a collaborative way to actualize their dreams, visions, whatever. And GIA is one of the places that I do that I want to do it. It's a little bit harder. Susan is the one who can really, you know, support that passion of sharing GIA. I'm a little more reticent. My work is usually very one-to-one and very personal about people's, you know, as a coach, that's what I do. So integrating that passion for sharing, but collaborative work just really juices me. And that's what I love about this group. And I know that having spoken with anyone, you know, the other day we called Kedzie, and she's just sharing what she knows and breaking it down in little pieces so that Susan and I could understand it. It was pretty awesome. Yeah.
I want to come back to what you're saying about collaboration, but I want to say one more thing about Susan. I have known Susan for a long time, and she has the passion for GIA steady. I mean, it never, we're talking about kids, it's never, ever wavered. Although,
Okay, sorry.
not the children. Okay, Susan, good. So her activity has gone up and down, right, Susan Kibbe? I mean, you've been very, very busy. You've been on a, you know, not so busy, but when you level it all out, man, she's all over that. But let's go back to what Susan was talking about, collaboration, share. And it's almost like what you said, Karen, celebrating this group. We're looking 5 years from now, and I can just see us. The focus I feel is that our focus is on helping all of us achieve our own personal vision. I don't know how, that's what I'm feeling like Karen is saying. That's what I think that Susan Friedman is saying, that we have a team of people that are focused on helping each other to achieve our own personal vision through a group who are sharing the good news about GIA. Does that make sense, Susan Friedman? Wait a minute, Have to unmute.
I'm so sorry. I just got interrupted by my grandson who brought a marshmallow catapulter that he and his brother just made. And I'm sorry, but they're here
Oh,
and I missed a little bit of what you said. They were very excited.
what I was
So I apologize.
just rephrasing what you were saying is that this group is all about helping individuals achieve their own personal visions. First of all, to achieve your own vision, you have to have one. And maybe that's what we do also. We help people create their vision, their mission, and their purpose, and then help them to achieve that. And I think, as I think about 5 years from now and the outcome and what you see, the more you see about other people, the more chance you have of achieving your own personal vision. Does that make sense?
John,
So yeah,
Karen?
I think Rosemarie wanted to share something. She had put a chat in earlier.
Okay, good. Rosemarie, you with us? I don't think she's on there. Doesn't look like she's on now.
Rosemary said she had to go to an appointment.
Oh, she arrived at her appointment is what she was saying. Okay, cool. All right, who else? Georgia.
Okay, so if I can say something, it's not all compact and together, but it's sort of like a thoughts in progress. When I first joined GIA, it was 8 years ago, and I joined with a business builder pack, so I got everything, and I did the easy pay, so I got it over the course of 3 months. So every month I got this stuff, and I was totally delighted, and my health improved. And then the next month, different stuff would come, and my health would get even better. And then the third month, and by the end of the third month, I had this thought, which I think I should revise, but the thought was, even if I never make a penny at this, I am so grateful. Now, I think I might have to revise the even if I don't make a penny at this part of that statement, but you know, I think of that in terms of, there's a lot of people in my life right now who have health issues and don't have the mindset that they can do something about it. Either they go to doctors and just follow, you know, take the prescriptions, or they don't do anything, complain about their health. And it makes me crazy because I think, you know, you could drink this water, you could put a couple little thingies on your equipment, your computer and phone and everything, and you right there, half your health problems would go away. And it makes me kind of crazy. So, and as I said, these are thoughts that are coming up, but I think there's some coherence to it that I haven't quite put in a coherent statement yet.
Okay, so here's the question that I came up with. Thinking 5 years from now, the what if is, what if every single person that we offered the Operation Hydration experience or to learn about GIA, they all said yes? Or all the people that said yes and started using the products, what has been the benefit to all of those people? How would we describe that 5 years from now? Let's say you're in a room or in a stadium with all those people. What would they be celebrating? What kind of life change would they have had?
Well, they would have had, their health would have improved drastically. I mean, I noticed changes for the first probably 4 years of drinking water and all that stuff. It's like, you know, okay, this is what happened the first month, and then there was this first year and the second year. So it just things kept on changing. And so if that many people were all drinking eye water, I mean, it would make a huge difference just in the health of our whole society.
And knowing that if people get involved with eye water, the chances of them using our other products are pretty substantial when they start to learn. So, you know, like I said, I look ahead and I see a stadium full or thousands and thousands of people having the same experience that you've described. Their health has improved. So that would be one of the benefits of what we're about to do. With
Right.
Thousands and thousands of people who would have never had a chance will have a chance. And I think that probably needs to be in our vision for the future, something about that. So that when you're sharing with people, you can share with passion why. Why are we doing this? Why are we knocking on your door? Why are we calling you up? Why are we giving you this gift? And the reason is we have a vision for the future, and we want you to be a part of that. So I think that needs to be a part of where we're headed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that? You're being awful quiet, Jana.
I love that.
Good. Kedzie loves that. Okay, good. All right, what else? Eileen?
Yes. Thank you, Kedzie, for those kind words earlier.
Oh, good.
Well, first of all, I think the other day when I was asked if I felt cured of Lyme's, I am not cured. However, I am so much better, there is no comparison. And I feel it's almost an obligation. Maybe I should take out the word almost, to share what can be with other people so that they can experience the same improvements or different improvements, as the case may be, but so they understand and experience what these products can do, what the iWater can do. And from seeing, you know, the neighbor's granddaughter immediately get relief when you put a cell guard on her phone. She's 14. Her hands were so hurting that she could hardly hold her phone. And I feel like when somebody, I'm still fighting the Lyme, and I don't get out as much as other people do. But when I do talk with somebody, and if I'm not successful, I feel like I've failed them, that I have not done something correctly to help that person. I know it's their choice. I understand that, but deep emotionally, I feel like I did something wrong in presenting it to them that they did not understand, or some way I need to get that within myself so that I don't feel like I failed them when they don't choose to do it.
Beautiful. Son of a gun, that's pretty powerful. I mean, that's really good in that Dorje's expression and yours and some of the things you guys are saying. Imagine if we all felt as strongly and strong enough to be brave and to be courageous as a group to go out and make that difference in the world over the next 5 years. And at the same time, here's what I'm thinking about. So when I think about GEA, the vast majority of GEA, people that are associated with GEA are customers. They like the products. The vast majority, I mean, probably 90+% are customers. And customers are not going to go out and passionately tell people about their experience. That's not what happens. They usually are pretty happy with where they're at. They're happy their health's better. Most of them are not going to do that. And we have mostly that. What I'm feeling now is that we have this group coming together with what we're talking about today, is that not only 5 years from now will I see thousands and thousands and thousands of customers, but this group will be huge. It'll include people all over North America and whatever countries we open up in, currently and in the future. And when we're out and about talking about GEA, we can also be inviting people to be a part of this group, to not only experience the products, but join a team of people who are taking this, what you guys are just describing, to the world. And the benefits that come from that, there's all kinds of benefits that comes from that. I mean, just the great feeling you get about doing something significant as a group. And then of course, there's all the other benefits. If you do it, financially, there's benefits for doing that too. The cool thing about it is nothing comes to you unless you do something significant for other people. That's how GEA works. And so as we move through this process, I don't know, I can just feel the difference in me. in what you're saying. And I think what I'm hearing too is I'm hearing more passion about what the products have done for people or for your own self. Does that make sense? I don't know if you're hearing that, but more than we usually talk about out in front. We don't usually talk this strongly, I don't think, about what the products are doing. Do you guys think that's true? Susan, you're putting your
I
mic.
was hoping Dorje and Eileen would post something on the 360 page.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can do it. You can post it yourself. How about if Karen interviews you on Zoom or somebody interviews you really quickly? Because this, what we're talking about today is what's going to drive the growth of our company. It's like being bold. It's being truthful. It's like, how could you not share with someone, even if you know that not every single person is going to resonate with it. But what you do know, those who do have a shot. They have a shot of having the kind of health that you're talking about. Susan Kibbe.
Yeah, I just wanted to address the comment that Eileen made about it's really easy for us to feel like, oh, a failure. What did I not say? What did I say? What did I do wrong? Because otherwise they would have heard. And that, I can't imagine that we haven't all had that at some point, like we blew it in some way. And a couple things about that. I've heard so many stories about people persisting and persisting with the person who didn't get it right away, sometimes as long as 10 years. And then for whatever reason, the situation changes and they're on board. And it was because of that seed that you planted. And also dripping. We haven't talked about that word. Maybe we don't use it anymore, but it's an art. It's an art form. And when people aren't getting it, it doesn't mean they didn't, it just means they didn't get it right then. And then the other thing, which is semi-related, is I have a friend who is a physician. She's not affiliated with GIA at all, but her family, because she's their little girl, they can't hear her. I mean, she has an avid group of customers. She has her own clinic and her own, she's an medical doctor with people who adore her. I've been in her office at Christmas time and it's loaded with adoring presents from people, and her own family cannot hear her because she's their little girl. So.
Jana, did you want to say something?
I'll take it back, excuse me, to the 5-year. How's that? Where do I see myself? Oh, I see the future being bright. That's what I see. I see so much that we have, and even just doing this that we're talking about and bringing it together and having it as like a community and being able to support one another, which we've already started doing. And as I've mentioned before, I don't think that I would really be where I'm at right now without all of this. So I can only imagine what another 5 years from now, and with all that we're doing, if we go out there and not only share this and bring this aboard with all the newcomers and they can do the same. I mean, can you imagine? I could see all of us driving our dream cars, right? That would be a good thing, right?
That would be good. So I was just thinking about something. I think it kind of flew out of my mind, but the whole idea about us having our own vision, I think, is important to whatever that is. And the more your vision has to do with helping other people, the better. And then when you're with a group of people that are all about helping you with your personal vision, that's very positive. And when we can see the future and we can paint the picture that other people can feel, then that's magic. And then when you have a simple way, a simple process that people can use to move in the direction of their vision. And so it's not just about having the vision. We'll help people have their vision. We also hand them a simple way for them to do it. And what I love about Operation Hydration is that it is a gift, really. It's that door opening procedure that maybe 30% of the people will end up doing something, or maybe 50%. And for some, it might be 90. But it doesn't matter, because it's 1,000% successful, because it opens the door to what Dorje was talking about. It has to start somewhere. And if we as a group can just say, hey, that's it, that's our purpose, is to open the door. As Karen, I'm sure that you have situations where you're opening the door for people for alternative health, and you have varying degrees of openness to have that. But it doesn't stop you because someone doesn't understand that. You just know that that's what you're supposed to do. And with Operation Hydration, this concept that we've launched, it could really be the way. And that instead of celebrating, well, we're going to celebrate all the wins, but one of the wins is just doing it, just going out. Dorje going out and offering someone the Operation Hydration experience, opening the door to the vision that she's created. That's all she's doing. And you do it, it's just like Kedzie said earlier, she's going to drive across Arizona to drop off water, not guaranteed what the results will be. And it doesn't even matter. It's just part of who we are and what we do. That's the opportunity I think we all have right now as we come to this idea of having a vision. And then when someone does it, like Sandy Marchant, she goes out after years of being a part of this team and does the process. And just doing it is the success, right? That's the celebration that we just did what we're supposed to do. We did what our mission and purpose, we did what our vision is all about. And if that happens, then all the rest happens. All of it happens. Everything goes. So we'll come back tomorrow. I think about this tonight, and hopefully we can crystallize this into something that we can describe to someone else that we're all about. You open to doing that with me? Hey, Doc, how are you? Dorje.
I just want to throw one word out there, and that's camaraderie. And that's, I think, what the difference is with having this group and meeting every day. And that's what I had in the beginning 8 years ago in Crestone. I mean, our little tiny mountain town, there were so many people doing GIA. And now there's still a lot of people drinking water and having their phones protected, but it's just me, and I miss that camaraderie. So I'm really happy to have it here.
Beautiful. That's funny. See Sue Johnson with her thumbs up. We just talked yesterday. We were thinking back about what it was like back in the day where there was a time when we all got together every single day during the week for years, every morning, and what that meant to her. Now we're doing it twice, but this is kind of that kind of a thing, more focused on how to grow. So I'm excited about this. I hope you can tell that I think we're onto something here. And I think once we get finalized on this idea, get it inside of us, we will be reaching out to other people, inviting them to be a part of this. This might grow to be something even different. It might be something we do at different times. It might be something that's not every day. Who knows? But we do know this, that this group has started, and we are going to do the things necessary to grow this company, grow our organization, so that we can all reach the personal visions that we have. And that 5 years from now, it may take a stadium to hold all the customers and all the people that we've impacted with what we're going to do. That's it. That's it. All right, so tomorrow, let's talk a little bit more about this. And Doc, if you want to give me a call, I'll tell you what we're doing. I think you came on a little bit late. Talk about that. And if you have anybody else that should be on with us, maybe that didn't make it today, invite them to be here with us tomorrow. I know Bilby's not here, and Steve's not here, and a couple others. So let's all get together. Sandy.
Oh.
Go ahead, Sandy.
Can you, I missed half of yesterday's. Can you send me yesterday's?
Yeah.
About text? Yeah. Thank you.
Got it. Somebody else?
And
Yes.
Eileen?
I had mentioned this to you and Sue and Messenger, and I'm going to get nutso, I guess, here, but I want to know, and now I'm getting nervous about offering. I used to be a professional florist, and I can teach you how to make a bow that for your gallons of water that to just make it add that much more value. So it really is, it looks beautiful. When I make a bow and I give somebody they don't even look at the labels on the water. They look at the bow and they said, oh, you worked on this. This is so beautiful. And it just adds value to the gift that you're giving. And to me, I want them to understand it's a gift. It's a, and it's a valuable gift. It's something for their health. And so if anybody wants me to, I can teach you how. It's easy to make a professional floral bow. It does take a little more ribbon, but if you want, I can teach you how to do that.
Well, first of all, you never have to be nervous about giving us a gift, all right?
No.
Doesn't that crack you up that you get nervous about offering a gift? We definitely want to do that. So we'll probably do that this week sometime. We can do it right on Power Hour. I think that'd be great.
Okay.
I'm excited.
You too.
She doesn't talk.
How much ribbon should we come with? How many yards of ribbon?
And what type?
I got some right here.
Wired ribbon is the easiest for a beginner. And it doesn't matter which width, whichever width you want. Usually, I won't go into the numbers because my background is pop in there. But for a large, nice bow, it takes about 9 feet.
One bow is 9 feet?
Approximately, yeah.
Let me see.
Oh, she's gonna measure right now. Okay, we'll plan this out. We'll take a look at it and see what it looks like. But thanks for offering. We'll get that for sure. We'll get it scheduled this week. 9?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you for helping.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.